Hi everyone, hope you're doing good. And this is a long overdue CD update. Especially considering the fact now it's May and I got these back in December. It's been that long, it's took me absolutely ages to get through these. Mainly because of lots of things that's been going on and all the stuff that Simon sent me for winning his contest. It's just been difficult finding the time to sit down with these and listen to them. But over the course of this week, I've been listening to them quite a lot just to refresh my memory on them, and now I'm ready to do this video. So yeah, I've got 6 albums in total. At the end of December, because they're all pretty cheap. They're all completely different from each other, apart from there's 2 of the same band in here as well. So hopefully there might be something for everybody here, and I hope you go on to enjoy the video. Let's get into it. First up, starting with a bit of deathcore, and I've got the latest Carnifex Necromantium from 2023. Their 9th album in total, and yeah, this is a great album artwork as well. I really like the purple and the green. It just really pops and sets the stall out for what kind of album this is. And it's basically, for me, it sounds like an old school deathcore album mixed with like a horror film soundtrack. There's so many different like little samples of eeriness about it that just sounds like it's come straight from a horror film, and yeah, they make it work really well. It's epic and heavy and brutal, not as much black metal as there has been on the previous Carnifex albums, and that's why I kind of liked Carnifex for having those little black metal nuances in there, but this one just kind of goes, kind of strips it back to more of an old school deathcore sound, but then it also brings in all these like samples and little like nuances of like a horror film, which is really cool. I like the addition of a lead guitarist on here, because the previous album they just had it as a 4-piece without a lead guitarist, and the songs definitely are, it makes the songs a lot more fuller sound with an extra guitar player and adding some leads every now and then. Some really great guitar solos as well on this. So yeah, this one actually might be one of my favourite Carnifex albums that I've listened to. I've only listened to the previous 4, but I think out of those 4, I think this one might be in the top 2 personally. So that's the first one. Completely shifting gears now for a bit of instrumental rock. I've been trying to complete Joe Satriani's collection for a while now, and this is one that I've been looking for a long time. Black Swans and Wormhole Wizards from 2010. This is his 13th album. And yeah, as I said, I've been looking for this one for quite a long time. It's it's one of them that is not easy to find, but then all of a sudden it just became available, and I went buy straight away. Yeah, it's just another really good Joe Satriani album. At this point you just come to expect great guitar playing, some innovative song ideas, and that's what you get here. And also it's quite proggy in moments as well. Songs like Light Years Away and Wind in the Trees especially have a real sort of progressive rock vibe to them, which is really cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's quite as good as the albums that came either side of this one. You've got Professor Satch, which is one of my favourite Satriani albums, and then After this one, you've got Unstoppable Momentum, which I picked up a year ago, and I think that one's just a little bit better than this. But overall, it's a great album. Definitely one, if you're a Satriani fan, it's worth having in your collection. I would like to do a Joe Satriani album ranking once I've got the last two albums that I've not listened to. I would like to compile a Joe Satriani ranking. So yeah, I'm only missing two now from his collection. Shifting gears once again, going in more in a like death metal-y kind of hardcore kind of route with this. This is December, and this is their second album called Praying Hoping Nothing. Originally came out in 1998, but this is a 2003 earache reissue. And basically, with this, I just brought it on a whim because Simon sent me one of their albums last year, and I quite liked it. And just out of interest, just curious to see if I could find anything else. And I saw this. It was about £3 brand new on Amazon, and I thought, you know what, it's worth a punt. So I brought it without any expectation, and I really, really like this. I think I like this more than the other one that Simon sent me. This one kind of sounds very like melodic hardcore. No, not melodic. Metallic hardcore. Not quite metalcore, but, a bit more heavier than like your traditional hardcore. Definitely has like a Machine Head kind of sound, especially the first song, Umbilical. It just sounds like a Machine Head song, but with a bit more of a hardcore kind of vibe. I really like the vocals on this album. To me, they kind of mixed the kind of hardcore screams with Rob Flynn's sort of aggressive grunting vocals that he did on the early albums, and I like that. It's fast, it's aggressive, it's heavy, it's some really cool riffs. Interesting bonus tracks. There's a couple of covers. They do a cover of Seamlessly Endless Time by Death Angel, which is pretty cool. Ace of Spades as well by Motorhead, which is cool. And a Skunk Anansi song as well, which I thought was actually pretty decent. That's this one. A really good one. Last three now, and these are all more in the thrash realm, kind of like thrash adjacent. And these next two are from Shadows Fall. They're the only two albums that I could find on Amazon that I don't have, and also for a good price, because some of their stuff's not easy to get hold of. This one is Threads of Life from 2007. This is their fifth album, and this is a great album. It's a good follow up from The War Within. It definitely kind of follows that sound with this one. Some great riffs, great solos, some really good tracks. I think that my favourites were Burning the Lives, Failure of the Devout, The Great Collapse, Just Another Nightmare. Some great tracks there. Venomous as well. I think this album would probably be a little bit on the lower side in terms of a discography, but I think that just goes to show how strong their discography is. The fact that this one would be on the lower half for me, but still a great album. I don't think they've done a bad album in their discography, and I've still got a couple more left to listen to of their stuff. You kind of just get what you expect with this album. Some great riffs, great guitar solos. Some nice thrashy kind of metalcore. And I also got the follow-up Retribution from 2009, and this album's actually a self-release. And this is probably one of my favourites by Shadows Fall, actually. I love how heavy and aggressive the songs are. Really great production. I think it's even more thrashy than the previous one. Kind of feels like they go in a less commercial direction with this one. As I said, the last one kind of feels like it's kind of trying to be like War Within, but this one they just kind of went a bit more on the aggression and less on the commercial side. I felt like there was more memorable riffs on this album compared to the previous one. Brilliant leads, excellent songs. My Demise, Still I Rise, King of Nothing, which features Randy Blythe from Lamb of God, Embrace Annihilation, brilliant song. Public Execution, excellent. There's a couple of cool bonus tracks, some covers. Bark at the Moon they do by Ozzy, and it is one of the best covers I've ever heard. It's brilliant, and they did a music video to go with it, and the music video is really cool because they do it like a shot for shot replica of the original. Definitely check that out if you haven't, because it is really cool, really nostalgic. They also do a cover of Critical Mass by Nuclear Assault, which is also really cool. And yeah, this is a 2-disc version, so the cool bonus disc with some live tracks and some like playthroughs, which is nice. And yeah, I'm only missing 3 of their albums in my collection now, and I would like to pick them up at some point. And the last one is something more people will probably recognise. It's the Kerry King debut solo album, From Hell I Rise, from last year, 2024. You know, there's no getting away from the fact that, yes, it sounds like Slayer. But to be honest, I wouldn't expect anything different from Kerry King, you know. I wouldn't expect him to write a solo album that sounds like Dream Theater or, you know, it sounds like Cannibal Corpse, you know. He's going to write like him, which is going to sound like Slayer, isn't it, you know. Although, saying that, there are a couple of tracks on here that don't really sound like Slayer, especially a song like Tension and Everything I Hate About You and Two Fists. Those kind of tracks, to me, don't sound like Slayer, which is cool because it adds something a little bit different. But, you know, for the most part, it is a kind of as close as we're going to get to another Slayer album, I think. With songs like Where I Reign and Residue, Idle Hands, Toxic, brilliant. You know, I really like Rage. I really like the last song. The title track's really cool. It kind of sounds like a God Hates Us All kind of sounding song. You know, I think it's really good, and I really like the band that he put together for this. Phil DeMel on guitar, Paul Bostaph on the drums, Marcos Agueda does a brilliant job on the vocals. I've always liked his vocals in Death Angel, and he really channels his inner Tom Araya on here, which is really cool. And Carl Sanders as well on the bass does a good job. So yeah, basically, yeah, if you're a Slayer fan and you haven't bothered with it, it's definitely worth a go, definitely worth your time, and definitely worth having in your collection if you haven't got it. And I'm pretty certain Kerry King is working on a new album, so I'll be looking forward to that one. If it's anything like this, then it should be a good one. So that was my quick little CD update that was long overdue. I'd love to know your thoughts on any of these. And also, yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to just spend a little bit more time with them, as there's not as many albums to talk about this time. But yeah, I wanted to get these lot done because I've got so much that is still coming through. The stuff that I got from Simon, it was my birthday not that long ago, so I got some stuff then. And also now VCLT from Rogger as well. It's all piling up again. So, plenty of CD updates coming in the, over the course of the year, definitely, when I get time to listen to it all. And lots more content on the way, so hope you're looking forward to all of that. And if you got this far, thanks for watching. Until the next time, keep it metal.